obviously people like that, they make a bad name for vegans. Obviously they don't like vegans, they're incredibly threatened by vegans, and the media is as well. And that is why sometimes they will put out negative perceptions on vegans, you know, obviously trying to make veganism look bad. And that can, in a way, weaken the message that we're trying to put out there. Hence why animal rights activism, something that I'm very passionate about and involved in, is so important in this day and age, because we are up against such a large opposition. So yeah, I've been an activist, like I said, since about 2020. I started off doing peaceful stuff. Well, it's always peaceful, relatively. It's always relatively peaceful. And I started off at the Cube of Truth, Anonymous and the Voiceless. You know, the first thing I did was stand around in a Cube of Truth with the TV. And you know, because I was shy speaking to people, and then I sort of just went for it. I was like, I'm going to try and speak to people and get them to, you know, maybe at least consider veganism, you know, tell them a bit about it. And so I did that for a few weeks, and then I heard about other things. I heard about things like Bearing Witness, some of you might know about, which is basically the SAFE movement and other groups, independent groups, that go outside slaughterhouses, and which is obviously, for some of you who might not know, slaughterhouses are places where unfortunately animals have their lives taken for products such as, you know, beef and pork, chicken products. So basically groups of activists, vegans, will stand outside these places and you know, wait for the trucks to stop and then take footage of these animals, which some of you might think is a bit pointless. You know, there's no use behind it and there's no productivity in it. But by taking pictures of these animals before they are killed, in quite brutal ways sometimes, well, all the time really, is extremely powerful, because obviously the reason why lots of people may go vegan and become later on activists is because they see the suffering that these animals go through, and they see these animals before they enter the slaughterhouses and places like that. So I started to get involved with that, taking images of these animals before they enter places like that. And I just carried on finding different ways that I could spread the message of animal rights. And like I said, the Cube of Truth, which is Anonymous and the Voiceless, do check them out. And then you've got the SAFE movement, you've got all these types of groups that do different forms of animal advocacy, but it's all, you know, towards the same goal. It's, you know, it's for animal liberation and for animals to be given rights, and that is why activism is so powerful, because we are in a way influencing people to, you know, get active and to, you know, start spreading this message in their own way. I mean, to be an activist, you don't have to be going to London every week with a placard, you know? You don't have to be walking into restaurants with megaphones. You don't have to be chaining yourself to buildings, you know? You don't have to be doing things like that. You simply, to make yourself an advocate for animals, all you can do, you know, if you're on something like TikTok or Instagram or Facebook or YouTube, is, you know, if you're comfortable with doing that, you can record yourself, or, you know, and you can just speak your mind, and you know, speak about what you feel is right and how, you know, what you think about. Yeah, speak about how you feel about how the world, you know, how the world could improve its standards, you know. Just like you're giving feedback to a restaurant, you want to give feedback to the politicians, the governments, and people who are, you know, leaders in our society, because these people need to know that, you know, as a new generation, especially to all the people in here who are like under 18, under 16, you know, this is going to be our world soon. You know, we are going to be the next generation of adult, and obviously we're going to be the people with the biggest voice, you know, because believe it or not, our parents, you know, will be in places like nursing homes sometimes. So, no offence to anyone, but, you know, parents who are activists, you know, our current day activists, will be, you know, they will be senile at some point. They will they will be unable to, you know, be activists anymore. And obviously, some people who are not activists at the moment, who don't speak out what they think, you know, may think I don't need to do it because there's other people out there who are doing it on my behalf. And this mindset, you know, it's a good mindset to have if you are shy for speaking out and things like that, but it's also not a very helpful one because, you know, when the current generation of activists, you know, is not around anymore, we're going to need other people to step up and take their place. Because if not, all the progress that has been made over the past, you know, decades from the animal rights movement will be undone because no one else will be carrying it on. And that is why we need to carry on from this next generation of kids. And, you know, anyway, like I said a moment ago, all you need to do to speak up and have your voice heard and to influence people, whether that's just families or, you know, adults, anyone you want to influence or, you know, advocate to, all you have to do is you can make a post on a social media platform if you're on it. And I understand lots of people may not be old enough for social media, but even speaking to people about why you're vegan and, you know, that you are vegan, speaking to someone is so powerful. You know, if you order something at a restaurant with your friends and they ask you, you know, why are you ordering that? And, you know, it's a vegan option. They might laugh at it and they might say something about it. But if they ask you why you order it or something like that, then explain to them why you're vegan. Explain to them why you don't consume animal products. You know, that's still a form of activism in itself by speaking to someone, because speaking to someone in a setting like a restaurant is no different to speaking to someone at an outreach event, you know, Anonymous for the Voiceless. You're still speaking to someone and explaining to them why eating animals is wrong and why you personally don't do it. So I encourage everyone in this room, you know, whenever you can, wherever you can, to just, you know, speak about why you've made the choices that you've made and why you may speak up for animals, you know, because that is so important. You know, the power of speech and the power of, you know, expressing your beliefs. You know, you're not forcing your beliefs on anyone because you're not holding someone at gunpoint and forcing a tofu burger on them. You're not forcing them to eat some tempeh, or, you know, you're not doing anything like that. You are simply talking to them and letting them know about, you know, what choices they could make in order to, you know, save animals and to, you know, protect animals, as well as many other things, that is, you know, the environment being preserved, you know, because at the moment our planet is on fire. Our planet, unfortunately, is slowly dying in front of us, and that it's incredibly sad to see, because, you know, it's a consequence of what we are doing at a day-to-day actions by eating animal products. So this is why it's so important to speak up, and especially the next generation. Like I said, it's so important that we speak up as the next generation, because our voices will be the next ones to take over from our parents and our grandparents, and that's why we must be already speaking up at the moment, because it's so important that the messages that we are putting out at the moment, that our parents are putting out, carry on. And, you know, thanks to everyone here for being vegan already, and for, you know, already doing your part by removing yourself from the violence that is happening towards animals. But if you're not already, you know, advocating in any way, making posts on social media, speaking to people about why you are doing what you're doing, or eating the diet that you're eating, then thank you so much for that. And it's honestly, it's really remarkable how many people are here at this festival and how many people are, you know, vegan already, and the growing number of activists is just insane. So yeah, it's brilliant, and thank you all for coming here and, you know, listening today. We really appreciate it.